Guess who locked their keys in the car? The past few months was the most growth I think I've had, not just in my 20s, but in my whole life. They were coming to terms with a lot of things. They were filled with a lot of denial, but also a lot of like structure building. I feel like the structures that I put in place are now coming to fruition, or like the results from those structures. I'm now seeing the results from all the hard work that I've put in through just consistency. I'm going to school now. I'm actually starting my second semester in a couple days, and I'm really excited, honestly. I'm going to be taking a creative writing class, my first creative writing class, and I'm majoring to be a licensed clinical social worker or licensed clinical therapist, and it feels good. I feel like I'm finally making steps towards a realistic future rather than just kind of being in limbo in my life. Right now, I'm waiting to hear back about a refill for one of my prescriptions. I'm on prescription medication now for my diagnosis, and I didn't have a diagnosis just a couple months ago. It's just so interesting. The myths, if that's what I want to call it, if that's what you feel like calling them, I would have assumed having a mental health diagnosis, a mental illness, would change about a person that, like, I don't feel like it's changed about me. Like, there are so many misconceptions that I feel like now living with mental illness I would have never have realized without having experienced one for myself. There are so many times when I feel like if I didn't know any better and I was to wake up tomorrow not knowing anything about my life and just having to move throughout the world like normal, I wouldn't have guessed that I have this diagnosis. I feel like if I didn't know any better, I wouldn't have categorized myself with a mental illness. But that is, I guess, because the medications that I'm on are working so well for me that I can say that, thankfully. And yeah, therapy is going well. I am on Bumble and other dating apps, and I'm actually, well, I had a little mini friend date the other day and that went really well. And I'm just like setting goals in therapy for like my savings, for meeting new people, for getting out of my comfort zone. And it feels good because like my therapist is so encouraging and like genuinely happy to see me meet these goals. But I've been really good. And I feel like that wasn't something that I could have said 6 months ago. But now that I'm at this like the adjustment period and I'm kind of seeing the other end of the tunnel where I'm like, okay, I can start making moves again. I can start building a foundation and starting fresh, starting new, but also being happy to be starting over. And it's like I already started over. It's just now that I'm finally seeing the fruits from the seeds that I planted and actually being happy to see those seeds growing. And I don't don't want to say like messages, but like quotes. I can say quotes. I've been really leaning on in these times of healing and transitions and whatnot. This one's actually my background. It says, anything I've lost was never meant for me, because what's mine will always find its way to me. And I really took that one and this other one that says, release yourself from the illusion of what could have been. What you are currently experiencing is what is meant to be. And I've really just been taking those two to heart because of how much I had to forgive and come to terms with the fact that I'm back at home. Yeah, it wasn't easy getting to this point in my life where I feel like I can honestly say I'm happy moving back home. But it also, I don't know, I feel like I don't want to be dramatic in saying that it was something that I actually had to like come to terms with, but it was. And I feel like here back at home, I'm not only like having such a good support system, but like I'm actually making moves to like secure my future by going to school and finally fulfilling my secondary education. And like whenever I'm driving now, so like whenever I have troubles with like car stuff, or like my starter went out the other day and I didn't have to pay to get it fixed, and there's like that financial support as well as emotional support that I have here at home that I didn't have in New York because there was no family out there. I'm gonna go probably edit this and type up my homework for therapy tomorrow. But yeah, thank you for watching.